Hello, welcome to Orangetheory Manchester. My name is Coach James. I will be your tour guide with you today, walking you through the studio before your first class. I will also be one of your coaches that you'll be having on some of your other classes at Orangetheory. Now, I'm going to happily bring you through our tour of the studio because you will also be getting 5 minutes with the coach prior to your first class. But before we get there, I'm going to show you all the equipment that we're about to go through, starting with the treadmill. So our treadmills are all numbered along with all of our equipment. The numbers are right by your feet when you first step up onto the treadmill, and all of our numbers around the room, you will follow the one that you start with. Once you get to your specific treadmill, you're gonna notice that there's a lot of different buttons to go through. I'm gonna walk you through each one. We have what we call a flex deck on our treadmill, which helps take away shock absorption from our knees, our ankles, our back, decreasing the amount of shock we get when we're running, walking, or jogging. Now you can pick what you'd like to do in each class, and we have 3 different paces that will help you do so. We have a base pace, a push pace, and an all-out pace. These are going to be commands that your coach will be giving you during your class to help guide you through each block on the treadmill. Your base pace is what we call a challenging but doable pace, something that you could maintain for 30 minutes. Your push pace is an uncomfortable intensity, something that you might not be able to carry a conversation with your neighbor with. And lastly, we have your all-out pace. This is something that's very uncomfortable. You will always get a walking recovery when you finish these all-outs, and it's something that you can only maintain for that amount of time. Now, as we walk through the class, the coach is going to bring you through these intensities, and it will sound like this. You have a 1-minute push into a 1-minute base. Power walkers, a 6% incline or greater. Runners and joggers, 1 to 2 miles an hour over your base. In 3, 2, 1, push. And the coach walks you through the entire block. Now, while you're at the treadmill, to adjust your settings, there's a green start button down by your left hip. Once you've done that, you'll press it and the belt will start moving. Then you can adjust the treadmill settings accordingly, with the left side of the treadmill being your incline and the right side of the treadmill being your speed. If you wanted 3 miles an hour, you'd just hit that 3 and the treadmill would go to 3 miles an hour. If you wanted to adjust your incline, you would do it in the same exact fashion. To stop the treadmill, you'd hit your red stop button. If you ever needed to stop it quickly, you just pull that emergency cord and the treadmill would stop. We only use that for emergencies. If you have any other questions, you can also just wave at your coach. So this is the area where you'll be going through all of your floor exercises. Now again, every station is numbered along the wall, and you'll follow your corresponding station that you had when you started. Now every area also has different modalities that we'll be using during your workout. You'll have free weights, BOSU balls, TRX straps, ab dollies, as well as body weight exercises and dumbbell exercises to work through. Every class will be different, so you will not see the same thing twice. Now, as we work through the class, the coach is going to demonstrate each exercise that's up on the VVA screen on either side of the room. Once the coach has demonstrated the exercise, the coach will also give you a weight recommendation as well as an option for the exercise in case we need one for an orthopedic restriction or injury. Now, if something does bother you during class, do not hesitate to ask the coach a question, whether that's just giving the coach a wave saying, can you help me out, or I need a different option. Now, if you also would like more of a challenge, we can also help you with that. Now we're gonna head over to our rower to go through our rowing demo with you. So now that we've gotten to our water rower, we're gonna get ourselves strapped in. The reason we use our water rower is because it uses 80% of the muscles of the body, as it's a very effective cardiovascular exercise. Now when you get to the water rower, you're going to want to adjust the foot plates, which are down here. You're going to pull the tabs back one at a time towards you. You'll slide it down to make the foot larger, pull it up to make the foot smaller. You want both plates to be at the same height. Once you have both plates at the same height, we're going to place both feet in the straps at the same time, and then we tighten the straps at the same time. Now this seat does move very quickly, so once we grab that handle, palms face down, we're going to sit up nice and tall. Now we use a lot of different cues on the rower, and these are the most common that you'll hear. This is for your order. We're gonna focus on legs, core, and then arm drive. And then reverse on the way back in. Arms, core, legs. Legs, core, arms, arms, core, legs. When we put it all together, it gets that water spinning in the reservoir. Now our timing is gonna be 1 count back and then 2 counts in. Exhale, and then inhale towards the front of the rower. Now when you finish rowing, you'll rack the handle underneath the 2 pegs in front of you, and to loosen those foot plates, you'll take both of those tabs, pull them back towards you, and then you'll slide your feet up and out, waiting further instruction from the coach. During class, you're gonna be seeing the OT beat screen up here the entire time, and it'll tell you in live time where your heart rate is and what zone you're in. The zones are based off a percentage of your max heart rate, and they have different colors. At the end of class, you're gonna be seeing what we call our OT beat summary, and it'll be up there for the entirety at the end of class. It'll also go to your app that's on your phone or your email address. Now at the end of class, the coach will go over the OT beat summary with you, and that OT beat summary includes your splat points, your calories burned, your average heart rate, the percentage of your max heart rate that your average was, and how many minutes you spent in each of the 5 zones. A splat point is 1 minute spent in the orange or red zone. We look for 12 splats or more in every class. If you get less or more, that's okay. The reason we want 12 or more is because then we get our body into what we call EPOC, which is excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, which is where we get our afterburn, where we burn more calories over the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, as you go through this graph with your coach, you are more than welcome to ask any questions you have that pertain to you as an individual, as well as what those numbers might mean more in depth. I'm really happy that you came with us on this tour today. This concludes the end of our tour. Now get really excited for that first class, and we are so excited to see you in the studio.